Hey y'all, it's Chris here with the Daily Gab. Decided to do a little different today and go video instead of just audio. Still going to talk about whatever I'm thinking about today, but just thought I'd do a little different and have a little fun with it. So, what do we want to get into? Well, pretty good weather today. It's a little warm, not quite as smoky. Well, it's starting to get a little smoky now, and I can see it starting to become a little bit more of a haze. Earlier when I was out here, it was blue skies, comfortable, slight little breeze. So now it's starting to get a little turn for the worse. But hey, welcome to California. That's what we deal with, right? So a couple of things I want to talk about. Some interesting information on the grand jury report for Sutter County. From what I understand, and this was listening to some other people, the report was signed by the grand jury, the original report that they put together and, basically handed to a judge. And so then after they were told, oh, no, you can't do that. You got to take all this out and all this has got to come out. Then you can sign it. They all chose not to sign it. Now, I have not sat down and read all the information on a grand jury and the requirements and what the rights are of them and what they can and can't do and all that kind of stuff. I haven't done it, I admit it. But from my understanding, once they sign the report, it then goes to the public, to the department heads, to whatever within the jurisdiction. So that means the report that we should be seeing right now, we haven't seen. And legally, from my understanding, a judge cannot block that. So what I'm hoping is that somebody who was on that grand jury will pull their head out of their butt for a minute and go, you know what? We need to get this out there, and then anonymously drop it at my door. Drop it at the Huth Broadcasting out in Linda. Drop it at the new Republican headquarters thing that the Yuba Sutter Political Spotlight folks are doing over here on Bridge Street where the old Dave Shoes was. Drop it in the middle of the street on my street. That's fine. I'll walk out and pick it up. Get it out in front of somebody. Of course, anonymously, so that you don't have to worry about anything, because I know you guys, from my understanding, there was allegedly a letter that went out from Sutter County, from the county council people at Sutter County, threatening the grand jury folks that if they did release this report publicly, that they would be sued and the county would not back them up, which is a load of crap, by the way. There's one issue, or one thing that really needs to be figured out. I have a feeling it won't be long before that grand jury report is going to become public somehow, some way. It could even be that, a group of citizens get together and find a way to sue the county to get it. Who knows? It could be anything. Also, well, the Yuba Sutter Political Spotlight show, listen to that today, and it'll be up on YouTube. If it's not up on YouTube by the time this is, it will be up on YouTube soon. One of the great parts about today is they had John Missler, who is the owner of the Territorial Dispatch, but he also ran for Yuba County District 5 Supervisor, and basically came in third by like 14 votes. So they're doing a write-in campaign for him now. So he's going through whatever process he has to go through for that. We support Mr. Missler. And on It's Yuba City and More, One Eye Blind Media, and me personally, we all support Mr. Missler. He's a good guy. Could probably do a lot of good things for Yuba County, which could in turn do things good for Sutter County over here as well. So definitely a good guy and worth a vote. So if you want to help him out, I'm sure there's ways for you to contact him to volunteer. You can check with the Republican headquarters, as I guess, or what they're calling it. It's the Sutter County Constitutional Republicans I think, are the ones who are putting this thing together over there. So you can go check that out. Be a good place to go. I'm sure they can get you the details, you know, if you can, you know, put a sign, if you can help put up signs, if you can walk the district for them, you know, whatever you can do. They also are going to be having August 9th, I believe, is going to be their grand opening in a sense. Starts about 7 o'clock. It'll be over there, like I said, at Bridge Street. It's like 441 Bridge Street, Suite E, I believe. It's where the old Dave Shoes used to be, so it's almost in the corner, right there near the Cookie Tree, Comcast, all that kind of stuff. So you definitely want to go over and check that out. And it was a really good show today too, so we'll hopefully get that up and posted for you really, really soon. So, you know, when you start looking at what else is going on, because this is obviously a little bit more of a political post, you know, we've got the city council candidates that are now, you know, starting to come out of the woodwork, I guess you could say. We've got what? Mark Baumgarten, David Shaw, Grace Espindola, Stacy Brookman. I have heard, but I have not confirmed, Daria Ali. And then there's another guy too, like a Brett, Mike, something Westmoreland. I don't know anything about the guy. I've never heard of him. So it's just somebody else, you know, for you to look at. But right now, my number 1 and number 2 candidates, well, my number ones that share the number 1 spot, because I'm not in the city, would be Mark Baumgarten and David Shaw. David especially, I've known that guy for way too many years. And he's a really good guy, gives a damn about this community and wants to see some change, and that's good. But I believe Mark is in the same boat. I think he wants to see it too, and I think Mark would be a good choice. As far as the rest of them, I really don't know anything about them. So I can't say a whole lot about them because I don't know anything about them. There is the whole thing going around that Grace wants to be in government so bad and in a position so bad that she keeps moving until she finds a place where she can maybe win and get into a position, because she's run for, I don't know, Sutter County, Yuba City. She's run for a bunch of different stuff, and from my understanding, she lives in Live Oak, or did, and used to live in Colusa, or I have no idea. So when somebody's fighting that hard to become a politician, it makes you kind of question some things. But, you know, I don't know enough about her, so I can't say anything bad because I don't know. And then you've got a couple of the other ones that are already there that are going to plan on running for re-election, like Stan Cleveland, which we know, I mean, based on everything that's happened so far, it would be stupid to have the same guy back in there. And John Buckland, Mr. Sweet Life. I mean, you know, and then from my understanding, Preet is not going to run for re-election. I think from the rumors I've heard, she's not going to seek re-election because she really wants the spot on the supervisor's seat. She wants District 4, Jim Whitaker's seat, when he's finally out of there. Now, we don't know if he's going to be, I mean, obviously he's going to finish out his term because the recall was unsuccessful. So he'll finish out his term, and then she wants to run for that. So, I mean, I think basically when you look at Preet, she just wants to be a politician for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would think it's that grand, but it just seems that that's all she wants to do. Stan, I mean, they make the joke on the Spotlight all the time that he didn't know how to get a regular job, so he'd have to do something. It must be running for that, right? But running for city council. I know he was a supervisor at one time. I'm still thinking about the run for Supervisor District 2 myself in 4 years. You know, that's the district I'm in, unless I move for some reason, but I'm still thinking about it, and I don't think I'm moving anytime soon. So yeah, you know, the politics around here are getting interesting. I did hear an interesting thing on the politics show today that I don't know. I try to look at a lot of different sides of things. Pretty much we know they are Brandon Barnes supporters, which there's nothing wrong with. I think Brandon's a great guy. They do not like Dennis Houck. which I know Dennis. I think he's a great guy. So I think if either one of them became sheriff, we'd be in pretty good shape. But what I think is a little bit kind of maybe almost annoying is it's this thing of everybody's like, well, Brandon's clearly got the experience and he's clearly okay, but Brandon's been working in the jail for how long now? At least Dennis is actually out amongst the people being on patrol, so he kind of has, I think he has a little bit better experience from that standpoint of really knowing what's going on in the public more than what's going on in a building full of criminals. You know, I mean, I realize the jail is a very, very big part of the county, but I don't know, I just feel like he's got a slight advantage there because he knows some things that, somebody who's just been working in the jail for the past 10, 15 years, that's all they're going to know. Where they're not actually out on the street talking to people, seeing what kind of crime we've got out on the street, because that crime may not always end up making it to your jail, you know what I mean? So I just think he's got a slight advantage there in that aspect of it, but I don't know, we have to wait and see, you know. I mean, I think honestly either one of them will be fine as the sheriff. Now yes, there's gonna be things that Brandon's got a little more experience with than Dennis, that may be good things for him, like running the jail budgets and that kind of thing, which Dennis obviously doesn't have that experience because he hasn't worked in the Sutter County Jail or the Yuba County Jail. So maybe he don't have that experience. But to me, there's a lot more to it than just being experienced on one thing. And if you got the proper people in your department, you don't have to know everything. You let the people in your department help you learn what you need to learn. So I don't know, maybe it's different, but I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that race. One other thing I've been thinking about, and I haven't heard a lot about it yet, and I'm trying to find out, why have we not heard about who's going to be running for Yuba City Unified School District board? I'd like to know who's going to run for that, because we need some serious change over there anyway. So I'm kind of curious as to who's going to be running for that, because I haven't heard anything about it yet. So and in doing this video style podcast instead of just the audio, I get to use this space right over here. I can throw little symbols and pictures and things up there. So there you go. That's why I'm sitting well, to do it properly, I should be in what they call it's the rule of thirds. So you've got you've got a line here and a line here, basically. Not on the camera, you don't see them or anything. I don't even have them on my screen. And then there's like a line here and a line, maybe they are on my screen, and a line like up here, right? And that's where you line stuff up, is at those cross points. So now, like, obviously I'm not worried about anything up here and down here because I'm not doing anything there, so it's doing it this way. So I'm staying over here. That way, just like in a real news type thing, I can put photos over here or video or images or whatever I need to put, I can put it over there. So that's why I'm sitting to one side, in case anybody's wondering. And that allows me to do like, my lower thirds down over here, so they'll come across right here. And the lower thirds is basically, like when you're watching the news and they throw that little piece up there with the reporter's name in it, like their Twitter handle or something. That's what it is. It's called a lower thirds, and they put them usually right here to kind of give you an idea of who they are, right? That's all. That's it. That's why I'm sitting the way I'm sitting. And then I decided to use this blue background because I didn't want to put the green background up, because this one was already open and ready to go. And I can still chroma key this one out if I want to. I can maybe put something in the background, like I'm sitting in the White House press room or something. I don't know. So yeah, now that we are getting into August, we definitely got some things starting to ramp up and going on for the elections on both sides of the bridge. And I mean, I realize I'm a big fan of separating, Sutter County, Yuba City from Yuba County, Marysville. I think each side of the bridge needs to stand on its own. But, what happens on one side of the bridge can affect the other side a little bit. So it is something to be a little bit interested in what's going on over there. And I think, You know, I mean, right now, there's maybe one supervisor over there, and I know who he is over in Yuba County, that I would trust. Right now, I don't trust the rest of them to do what's right for the people over there. And I actually was looking at going back to work for the county, so I'm kind of glad I didn't now. But yeah, I mean, and having Missler over there, I think will make a difference, and he'll maybe finally put the kibosh on this crap of how the Yuba County Water Agency is used as, you know, basically a bank for the county and that kind of thing. And some shady stuff seems to be going on with all these different groups that are subgroups of our local government. You know, like the Yuba County Water Agency, Sabufka, just all these different things that seem to be going on. And then we got all these levy districts now wanting to come up and get more money out of us for Sutter County. It's like, wait a minute. You're getting like $18 million a year, like Sabufka. They get like $18 million a year or something. I think that's the number. I don't remember what the number was. Maybe it was 6.3. I don't remember the amount of the... Forgot about that. Okay, I've obviously hit 15 minutes because I was trying to make sure I scheduled myself at 30 minutes to do this, right? And I've obviously hit 15 minutes because the camera turned off. Because this particular camera will only record for 15 minutes. And then it stops. It's just a 15, it's just some reason they set them up that way. I don't know why. My other Canon camera will record as long as I want to go. And of course cell phone will too, so I may try it a different way the next time I do this. I just like this camera because it's small and compact. It's got an articulating screen, a microphone input, just like my regular Canon does. And I got a microphone location on the hot shoe, so I think it works better. But now I got my timer on, which will help. Except you know, it helped me keep up with it, so I don't get rambling too much for too long. And I may even cut this one a little bit short, just because it's, you know, a little bit different today. You know, but I mean, really, the thing is it's time for people to seriously consider getting involved in what's going on around here, and, you know, and raising some hell about the fact that we don't have a grand jury report. Raising some hell that we've got, you know, these overpaid department heads and managers and all that kind of stuff in the county and in the city not doing anything for their money. I mean, they're not doing anything to help you out, that's for sure. They're not doing anything for the community. They're just doing what they think they know how to do when they're not the subject matter experts in a lot of cases. It's kind of like, but you know, and I think that's one of the things that drives me nuts about hiring staff and having consultants. Why would you go hire a consultant when you have staff to do a job? So if staff can't do that job, then get rid of the staff, who's going to cost you more money in the long run because you're paying benefits to them in retirement, and just go consultant only and hire consultants for everything. Because then you're not responsible for all this. All it is just a paycheck for them, and you can probably pay them less. So it's like, okay, go get consultants. But if you're going to do both, that's double dipping. That crap needs to stop. I have made a request with a couple of candidates, and I will probably talk to some more for city council, that they need to now make a change where the role of mayor is not a participation trophy role. In other words, it just doesn't switch year to year for the next person in line from district, you know, from District 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and each one of them every year gets to be a, you know, every year that it rotates, they get to be oh, that's weird. They get to be mayor. Instead of it doing that, it's that mayor should be voted in. We should be voting for the mayor. I don't know if it's somebody stopping across the street or stopping here. We get people stopping all the time, so I never know what's going on. But you know what? I think that's about it for today. So today's is episode number 4. Today is August 5th, 2018. And I think I'm done for today. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys later.